Hi, friends. My name is Brianna, and welcome back to Brianna's Bookshelf. So, today I'm going to be talking about my August TBR, or the books that I'm hoping to read in August. I haven't really been doing monthly TBRs at all this year. I've been doing some seasonal ones and then just kind of mood reading, but I feel like lately I have not been reading that much of my physical TBR, and then I've just been reading like a lot of really random things on Kindle Unlimited, which don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. It's been a lot of fun, but I feel like I kind of need to like reprioritize and get myself in line by like visually being able to see all the books that I'm hoping to read in a month. I feel like that would have a good impact on my reading. So we're getting ourselves together a little bit this month. We're trying to redirect my attention back to the physical library. And so I want to tell you all about the books that I want to read, and hopefully that will hold me more accountable. So, first up, actually not on my physical library, but from my public library, I have Animal by Lisa Taddeo. And this is actually my like real life in person book club pick for this month, which is very exciting. Me and my friends had been doing a book club a few years ago, and then it kind of just disbanded, or we fell out of doing that, and we decided to get back into it, and this is going to be our first book, and I am very excited about it. I feel like I'd seen this cover, but it wasn't super on my radar. And from what I hear about this, it's very much like, oh, weird girl, good for her kind of thriller vibe. And it sounds like our main character, she is kind of like trying to make sense of her past and like reckon with certain events she's lived through. There is violence involved. Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely getting good for her, and we shall see. I usually like that kind of thing, so I'm hoping this will be a nice cathartic read. Then getting into the physical stack, I am kind of prioritizing my reads based off of seasonality still, not necessarily like how long the books have been on my shelf. So since it's August, I'm really trying to focus in on all the books that really scream summer to me and get through those before the summer is over. So I am very interested in reading Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This cover and sprayed edges, of course, just scream summer. And this is about two main characters. Our female main character is a swimmer, and our male main character is a diver. So very much giving summer, though of course if you're like really on swim team, you're kind of doing that all year round if you do like club swimming. But I definitely think it's gonna have a summer vibe and hopefully have some of, the good old fashioned cutesy Ali Hazelwood moments. Her writing is just so easy to read, very comforting and addictive, I would say. And I've heard that this is giving a little bit more kink exploration than Ali Hazelwood's other books. So we'd love to see that. I think it should be a fun, interesting time. I've heard a little bit of like mixed reviews, but I'm excited just to get in and see what I think of it. And I love that it's about swimming. I can't wait to read it. I'd also like to read To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf, which is another one of my like more recent purchases, but definitely the lighthouse and water on the cover remind me of the summer. I don't know if that will be the case with like the theme of the whole book, but it is just calling to me, and it's pretty small, so I feel like I could get through this potentially. But I didn't know what this was about before I bought it, but it sounds like it's kind of like a family history kind of story, like following this family over generations potentially. And on the back of this copy, it does say there are very few exceptional and miraculous novels that have the power to change their readers forever. To the Lighthouse is one of them. And I feel like that is quite a claim. And that's exactly the kind of thing that I'm also hoping for at the moment, to have a book change me forever. That's like kind of the energy that I am chasing this August, is change, personal transformation. So I feel like I need this in my life right now, potentially. This is not necessarily summer related, but I just really want to get to Magic Study by Maria V. Snyder. This is the second book in the Poison Study series by this author. And if you saw my recent haul video, you will maybe have heard that I'm hoping to do a bit of a reading vlog of the first three books in this series, and it's like an OG early 2000s YA fantasy romance series. And I really did like the first one quite a bit, and I am hoping to continue enjoying it. I really fell off with making that vlog. I thought I was gonna like keep going reading the books in sequence, and then my attention just got totally like pulled to a different direction. So now we're trying to refocus. We're coming back to this, and we're gonna see what we think about the rest of the series. Up next, we have another fantasy. We have The Bridge Kingdom by Daniel L. Jensen. And I have read Daniel L. Jensen's like kind of Nordic themed duology, but I've never read this series. And this, I think, was her first one, or at least her first like more well-known series. And I am just loving these new edition covers, so I'm very excited to get into this. And this has also been on my TBR for an insane amount of time. Like I think I first heard about this series in like 2021 or something when they had like indie covers. And yeah, I just never got around to it. But I am so excited because this sounds like it is very true enemies to lovers. And we're following our main character, Laura, or Lara? Maybe Laura. And she is a princess of this kingdom that is connected to like another area through this bridge, and they kind of like control all the trade and stuff like that through this bridge. And she is meant to be marrying the prince of this neighboring kingdom, but she's basically meant to marry him in order to secretly kill him because they are their enemies. But it's enemies to lovers, so I think perhaps she's not going to kill him. But it sounds like a good time. I've always heard this is such good enemies to lovers, and when done right, that definitely can be one of my favorite tropes in fantasy. So I think that this is going to be a really good time. I did hear like one person say in on YouTube one time that they felt like this world kind of felt tropical to them. I have no idea if that's true because again, I think only like I've ever heard one person say that, but we'll see. I'll let you know if it does seem tropical, but that's kind of why I'm adding it into the summertime reads. Then something that was on my summer TBR, so I definitely need to get to this, is Death Valley by Melissa Broder. This is another like weird girl literary fiction, and all I know about it is that our main character is having some sort of personal journey in which she travels inside of a cactus. And I still don't know what that means, but I really want to know what it means. And it just very much gives summer. And it's fairly small, so I feel like I can get through this quickly. I've heard amazing things about Melissa Broder, so I'm definitely wanting to try her out as an author. So hopefully I'll finally get to this month. I also just adore this cover. Such good graphic design, in my opinion. And then my last book is another one that's not on my physical TBR, but that is Milk Teeth by Caitlin Starling. This is going to be coming out in October, and it is something that I have on NetGalley as an e-arc right now. And I'm really not a big arc reader. I struggle to read things within the time period, and also I'm not always the most like I have to already be excited about a book to want to read it as an arc, if that makes sense. I struggle to like find things that I wouldn't have known about and then get excited. But I have historically been interested in Caitlin Starling's books, and I have had mixed experiences with them, so I was very interested to try this. I previously read The Death of Jane Lawrence and really liked that. And then I've also read, I think she wrote The Luminous Dead, and then also something Saints, The Starving Saints, that's what it's called. So those two I had some issues with, and so they were a bit more mid, even though I felt like they had a lot of potential. So now I'm kind of like trying to figure out how do I feel about Caitlin Starling as an author overall. So I'm very excited to jump into this. And even though it doesn't come out until October, I feel like I better just start it now and hopefully finish it by September. That would be good. All I know about it is that we're supposedly, I believe, following a vampire, and she takes care of these fledgling vampires, so like newly created vampires, and then her own tastes start to kind of turn towards from blood towards human flesh, is what it sounds like to me. So potential cannibal vibes plus vampirism, which I don't know, I've never really seen like those two things together. So I think that should be interesting, and I am excited to try it out and give out my early review, hopefully. So those are the books that I'm hoping to read in August. It's looking a little ambitious versus what I've currently been reading like this past month. And so far this month, I have been on the slow side of reading lately, but that's okay. We've got a good stack of possibilities. So hopefully, I will be able to get into some of these books and get a little more excited about my reading this month. All right, if you have made it this far in the video, you can let me know by leaving me a cactus emoji, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.